Good morning, welcome to Vlogmas day 23. It's Saturday the 23rd of December. We are 2 days off the big day. 2 more sleeps until Santa. And yeah, it's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas, as they say. I have already been out and about this morning. I decided to hit the supermarket for the last minute bits and pieces. Thankfully, I wasn't going to do a big shop, but I was there for 8 o'clock this morning. The first supermarket I went into really wasn't that bad. It's a smaller one, and I got most of what I needed there. But there were a couple of pieces missing, and I went to the bigger supermarket, and it was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I really wouldn't want to be there later on today. I'd only a couple of bits to get there, so I was in and out in no time, but there were many people with big trolleys, and a lot of men. All I could hear were men going, right, where next, what aisle next, where do I need to go next? So they sounded harassed as well. But yeah, it was really good to get that done early, and it's all packed away, and I'm now taking an hour to knit. I've decided it's time to sit and knit. Tomorrow I'll obviously be quite busy with the last minute food prep. So today is an easier day. The house is grand the way it is, and yeah, it's time to relax and knit. And I have been knitting. Yesterday, as you know, I went down to my mum's for the day, and we had a really nice, quiet time. No big major celebrations, just a lovely quiet Christmas dinner with my mum. And on the route down, I had got going on my new socks. I had cast on the Fondant Fibre, Nellie's Frock, and the Knit Nook sock pattern by Kay Litton, the Crazy Sock Lady, and this is how we're doing. I had finished the rib in the car going, and I had just started into the pattern, and I couldn't read the pattern in the car. So I waited till I got home again last night, and it's one of those socks that knits itself. There's 8 rows in a repeat, and you just want to get to the end of the repeat, and then you go, oh well, maybe I might get another one squeezed in. So this is going very quickly. It's funny, yesterday I talked on the questions and answers about needles that I use, and I had said that I'm not very keen. Well, I like Chiagu needles, or I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but I've never been very fond of them for sock knitting. But one thing I wanted to experiment with in these socks was the needle size that I used. I knit a 64 stitch sock. 72 stitches is too big. And I use a 2.5mm needle, which is a US 2. No, it's not. It's a US 1.5. But I find I have quite wide ankles. The bottom of my legs and into my ankles aren't particularly slender, and a 64 stitch is on that needle is a little bit too tight and stretched looking. And I have tried 68 stitches, and that works for many patterns, and it actually would work for the pattern that I'm doing now, and that I could add on, because there's stocking stitch up each side of the patterned piece. The back of the sock is all stocking stitch, but because the rows begin and end with stocking stitch, I could add on extra stitches to that. But this time I decided to try a bigger needle, so I'm on a 2.75mm needle. I don't know what that is in US, and the only one I had was a Chiagu, and I've actually been really pleasantly surprised in that I don't have a ladder, but I do find my cable gets in the way. It just feels cumbersome, more cumbersome than the lighter cables. But I'm trying the 64 stitches as I normally would, but on a slightly bigger needle. Do we see? And it just has a better look about it, I think, for fit. So it'll be interesting when they're finished. But I'm absolutely loving this knit. And as I said, they are knitting up so quickly. And they're very, very pretty. So that's what I'm off to do now. I'm going to knit for a little while and catch up on some Vlogmas episodes that I'm way behind on. I'm really enjoying these socks, the Knit Nook socks by the Crazy Sock Lady. Such pretty detail. It's a really simple pattern to follow. As I said, I think earlier, there's an 8-row repeat and it works up quickly. And this afternoon, I got most of the heel flap done. I have a few more rows to put in. I have to stop now and make dinner. But I have a few more rows to put in and then turn the heel, and those are working really quickly. And I also, because why not, cast on the cuff of the Homespun House yarn, the Staying In sock set. So, I mean, there's very little to show there. Just started the cuff. Still haven't decided what pattern I'm actually going to knit once I get to the body of the sock, but it will be a Crazy Sock Lady sock for my year of Crazy Sock Lady socks, and the tag for that wee knit along, if you want to call it that, is in there if you want to join me. It's HCC Crazy Sock Lady. Just an informal jump in if you want, kind of knit along. So I'd like to get the cuff of that finished, and tonight I really want to get the heel turned. In these I probably won't get any of the decreases done, but if I could get the heel turned. I have had the loveliest day. It has been really quiet and slow and just what I wanted these few days before Christmas to be. It's why I plan a lot of things and try and get a lot of things done early so that I can enjoy the feeling of these days. And I did. I have sat and watched movies. I watched The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch, and I've watched some Vlogmas episodes. It's been lovely catching up. I'm still playing catch up from last weekend. I haven't really got to sit down to watch all the vlogs. I had a lovely bubble bath, which I fell asleep in. I know that's really, really silly. It's also not unusual in this house. But I had a really lovely bath. And I've started to reread a book. I think this was last year's book. And I must have read it so quickly, I really genuinely can't remember what it happens in it. But if you're looking for a book over Christmas, you can check out whether it's on Kindle or Audible. The Great Christmas Knit Off. So the back of it says, heartbroken after being jilted, Sybil has been saved from despair by her knitting obsession. Many of us are. But after perpetrating the cock-up of the century at work just before Christmas, Sybil decides to take a hasty exit to the picturesque village of Tyndalldale. She discovers Hetty's House of Haberdashery, an emporium dedicated to the world of knitting and needlecraft. I want to go to Hetty's Haberdashery. But Hetty, the owner, is struggling to cope, and now the shop is due for closure. But when Hetty decides that Sybil's wacky Christmas jumpers are just the thing to add a bit of excitement to her window display, something miraculous starts to happen. So just a real feel-good book. And I'm going to read some of that as well, because I'm sure it's Saturday night, the Saturday before Christmas, there will be football on the television, and I can read. So that's part of my plans for tonight. Finish the heel flap of this and turn and read my book. But for now, I need to go and make some dinner.